Hello and welcome to the New Zealand Initiative. I'm Oliver Hartwig, I'm the Executive Director of the initiative, and I've got with me my colleague Luke Malpass. Welcome, Luke.
Kia ora, Oliver.
Now, exciting time for us at the initiative because we've just produced our first ever research note, and I'm pleased to say it's got a German title. It's called Verboten, Kiwi hostility to foreign investment. Now, Luke, tell me more about it. I thought we were an open economy, open to investment.
Well, not according to the OECD. Dr. Bryce Wilkinson and I have dug into some OECD data, the OECD Regulatory Restrictiveness Index, and in fact we found that New Zealand has the 6th most restrictive regime in the world amongst developed economies.
And that means you make it more difficult for foreign capital to come to these shores?
That's right, it's a comparative measure. The only thing that matters is the comparison, because we are obviously competing with everyone else in the world for foreign capital.
Well, that's quite surprising actually, because everybody believes that New Zealand is open to foreign capital, and I mean it was certainly among the trendsetters in the 1990s, getting rid of tariff barriers, opening itself to the world. What's happened?
Well, you're right. You would think reading the newspapers that we let anyone in, it's a very laissez-faire approach. In truth, New Zealand's regime has, since 2005, has been tightened up. Apparently, according to the Overseas Investment Act, it is a privilege for foreigners to own land in New Zealand. And frankly, although our overall score hasn't changed, everyone else has leapfrogged ahead of us.
So we are standing still, and the rest of the world says, we are open now, come to us.
Absolutely, particularly ex-Soviet Union countries out of the Eastern Bloc. They know the benefits of foreign capital, they really want it. Australia's leapt ahead of us. Since 1997, 37 countries have liberalised far more than New Zealand.
So presumably there is only a limited amount of capital in this world, and you've got more countries now actively competing for it.
That's completely right.
So what does that actually mean then for investment here? Is it going downwards?
It is. Since 1993, we have a graph in there that there's a very suggestive relationship that FDI has trended down in New Zealand since 1993, the last 20 years.
And what does that mean for ordinary New Zealanders?
Well, it means if you've got a firm, the cost of capital is more. If you've got a mortgage, the cost of servicing your mortgage is going to be greater. If you're a property owner, the likelihood is that you will be able to sell your property for less, particularly if some of these private members' bills that we're currently seeing ever get up.
And presumably the jobs that foreign capital would have created here are now in Australia.
Well, that's right. I mean, if you have a look, a lot of people bemoan the decline of New Zealand manufacturing. According to our report, New Zealand has the most restrictive manufacturing regime around manufacturing in the world. Sector by sector, we're third most restrictive for hotels.
For hotels, that means you don't want tourists here.
Oh, well, exactly. No more Hilton hotels in New Zealand.
No more manufacturing either. I thought we were trying to balance the economy.
Well, we are, in theory, and internally there's been a lot of streamlining of regulation and this sort of thing, and the government likes to say we're open for business, but actually the process people have to go through to invest here in the first place is very onerous, and what the data doesn't actually get is the people that were put off in the first place and didn't apply.
Right. Now quickly, what needs to be done about this? We've got an Overseas Investment Act that is presumably regulating how we do business with foreign capital.
That's right. We need to scrap most of the Overseas Investment Act.
Scrap it.
35 of the 55 measured countries in this, developed economies in the world, these aren't kind of tin pot dictatorships. All of these countries, 35 of them have no restrictions whatsoever. So that would be the number one thing we could do. At the moment, government is second guessing whether someone will be a good businessman.
Right. Interesting, provocative stuff. Thank you very much. If you want to read the report, you'll find it on our website. You've got a link just under this video, so keep checking the website, and thank you very much for watching.